Alright, we've set our targets up at 100 and 200 yards, getting ready to take a few shots and see where we're at. Using 168 grain surplus ammo. Not very accurate, but we'll see what we can do with it, and we'll go from there. I'm going to look down range, see if I can zoom in. I'll show you the target at 100 yards, which is the one off to the left, and there's one at 200 yards off to the right. Take a few shots and see where we're at. Alright, we're going to do a couple of shots down range. See what we can do with this thing. I've got it sighted in at 200 yards. That's it. Alright, let's see if we can zoom in on this. Look through my scope here and see where we're at. That was about 15 shots, 200 yards. I've got about 10 shots on the target. Had a few flyers, but that's about it there. It looks pretty good. I mean, for surplus ammo, what can you expect? I hope to soon to be reloading and see what kind of accuracy we can really get with this. But I'm quite happy at 200 yards with about 10 shots on the target. Looks to be a little bit low and to the right. Made a few adjustments. But that, like I said, that was about 15 shots, and there's 5 of them that are kind of spread all over the place, off, on the paper. But like I said, that's 200 yards right there. So, let's see if we can zoom in on it. Now this is the target. I don't know if you can see it, but it's on the far right-hand side. We got 2 on the left. You got 1 center, and then you got 1 on the left. But at the very end, at the back there where the dirt mound is, that's 200 yards. So, not bad. And like I said, this is my Mosin custom sniper, as you've probably seen in some of the other videos. Some of the people are complaining about about how shaky the video was. That was my 13-year-old son holding the camera, so you can't keep him still anyways. But we'll zoom in on a couple of features here. That was my custom bolt that I built. You know, I machined off, you know, the usual bolt location right there, and moved it back, further back on the bolt. You know, some people are complaining about the M4 stock. Yeah, that's the cheapest stock there is, but when this was built, it was built on a budget. I just wanted to see if I could do it. You know, tied up in this whole gun, I've got less than 300 bucks. So, you know, you can go out and buy, you know, a Magpul stock or something like that, and you can spend the money. And the cool thing about it is, if you look at the mounting point there, it's the same mounting as there is, you know, on a regular AR. So anything that will thread into the AR, the buffer tube, will fit this rifle. Same goes with the grip, the pistol grip. Any AR style pistol grip will fit this. I had to put a little shim there. As you can see, there's a small shim, about 25 thousandths, underneath the scope mount. I'm probably going to put that back up in the mill and redeck that to sight that in a little bit better down the road. That way I don't have to shim it. Some people made comments about the bipod. Yeah, it was a cheap bipod. Now the one I've got on there is still cheap. It's a UTG, but it sits a little lower. I probably pumped 1,000 rounds out of this rifle so far. I haven't had any problems with it whatsoever. I was having a problem with the feed for the bullets, you know, the magazine, but I did correct that, so that's not an issue anymore. Get in here. Yeah, you can see it's a little beat up now since I've been using it and everything, but you know, seems to be working good. That's a close-up of where the bolt, you know, lines up there and how it locks in. You know, some people have talked about, you know, making a magazine for this. I've looked at some of the, you know, the different mags for the 7.62 by 54. Not really impressed. Some of them are double stacked. You know, this is a single stack mag that's on here. So what I may end up doing is I may take the original mag and extend it slightly, but still messing with that to see what I'm going to do. But hopefully these pictures are a little bit better than the ones that were on the other videos. Zoom in, kind of show you some of the detail. The knurled hand grip up front. Of course, the Yankee Hill muzzle brake. You know, I'm using a cheap NC Star scope. Not real impressed with it, but it seems to be holding. There's not quite as much adjustment as the dials say there is, but I've kind of realized that, and as long as I stay within a certain range of number of turns, I'm good to go. Here's another close-up of the bolt. As you can see where I've mounted it. Originally it was here, and I've moved it back to here. And I'll also trim this off here to get a little bit more clearance for the bolt. I don't think you really have to do that, but you know, it works for me. And like I said, everybody kind of rags me on the stock, but you know what? It was cheap. The gun was cheap, and when I built this, I just wanted to see if I could do it, knowing that down the road there's always room for improvements. So far, I mean, I'm real happy with the gun. The next one I'm working on is probably going to look more similar to the AR-50. And maybe down the road I'll have these things for sale, and I'm not quite sure yet. There's quite a few modifications that need to be made, so you know, I don't know if the price would be something that, you know, people would be interested in, but you know, maybe down the road. So right now we're going to keep on shooting and see what kind of accuracy we can get out of this. When I get the dies for it and I can start reloading these things, we're really going to see what we can do with it. So until then, and I appreciate everybody checking this out, and you know, thanks for all the replies, good and bad. I mean, everybody's got their reason to speak their mind. You know, can't please everybody. So anyways, hope you enjoy it. Hopefully down the road you'll like what I've got else to offer. So see you then. Bye.